Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a car on the 500-mile round trip to Essex. The car's all ready to go, it's nice and warmed up. Just going to stick some Red X in it before we go, so we can give it a good engine clean while it's on its way down there on a motorway run. So we've just got our Red X diesel system cleaner. Now it's a bit of a struggle to do with two hands, so I'll cut so you guys can see it. Okay then, so it's got one of these child lids on it, and the most impenetrable, so I've got a key on me or anything, impenetrable seal on it ever, which is good I suppose if you don't want to spill anything, but not so good if you want to get in it in a rush. Here we go. Perfect. Right, let's go pop the fuel. There we go. It's just a case of pouring the whole lot in like that. Now my dad, he's got a Harley Davidson, and he put some petrol system cleaner in his Harley, and he took the lid off and poured it in, and this impenetrable seal had come off and went straight into his tank, so we had to then drain the whole tank to get it out so it didn't block the fuel pump. So yeah, not ideal, but yeah, another thing that annoys me about Volvo is that why don't they give you anywhere to put this rather than bashing against the paint? I've never quite understood that. You get that on a Vauxhall Corsa, but there she is, she's ready to go. I'm going to stick this in the dog poo bin over there and yeah, get on the road. Okay then, so I'm just going to set up Waze on the on my phone here. I don't normally use Waze, but I thought I would today just to see. So first stop's going to be Great Waltham in Essex. I'm going to go via the M40. Obviously the signal isn't going to work, be on our favour, but there we go, get our other routes. Although it says it's 25 minutes faster, the other route is very susceptible to crashes and traffic, so yeah, let's go and get there. We're going to be there at 2 o'clock, 4 hours 20 minutes for the first stint, 348 kilometres, just over sort of 200 and a bit miles. So yeah, let's go. I'll join you guys later on, because I don't think you'll want to see me driving an hour to the motorway, will you, on some Welsh roads. So I'll yeah, join you guys in a bit. We've got a range showing of 575 miles, so we should be absolutely fine for today. I reckon we'll finish the trip with 300 miles range. I think we'll use probably just over half a tank, so it'll be interesting to see how far along that bar goes, won't it? But yeah, I'll see you shortly. Okay then guys, so we've just come onto the motorway now, and as you can see the cruise control set for 41. We've got 3 solid lanes, and we're just sort of slowly making our way down the road. It's typical on a Saturday, isn't it? Never trying to get anywhere, there's always other people about. So yeah, we've still got the same amount of range showing as we left. I knew it would go up a bit, to be honest. Once we get onto this motorway, we've cruised a bit. We're on it for 11 miles until the M42. We're coming off. We're going to go across M40 down the country. So that hopefully should be a smoother run. Usually it's along these next junction 6 and 5 the traffic's a bit sticky, and then when you come off of the 42 it should be okay. But yeah, it's all going well so far. I've got the music on nice and chilled. That's 1 and a bit hours done of the 9 hours. Yeah, feel fresh as a daisy really so far. So probably going to do this first stint, this 4.5 hours without a stop, just because you can in this car. It's super comfortable, just to make up a bit of time. I've got to drop some stuff at my uncle's in Cheltenham first, some flooring, and then I'm going to go across to Romford for the wedding. So it's yeah, it's a tight schedule today. It's a 45-minute journey from Cheltenham to Romford, and it's about an hour that I've allowed to get there. So hopefully we'll be there on time. We won't miss the wedding, but we can always make the after party at the end, can't we? So yeah, we're just cruising along. I'll splice in a bit more time-lapsey stuff, and then eventually, once we're on our way on a proper speeds, I'll join you guys again. Okay, so it's all going so well. Now we're sat in stop-start traffic just outside High Wycombe on the M40, which is a bit of a nightmare. It was going really well. We're cruising nicely. Everyone was going at good speed, and I'd started to make a bit of time back, but unfortunately, yeah, we've hit a bit of a sticky spot. But oh well, we'll get there eventually. Would you like to come in there? So. Yeah, I just thought I'd be driving along, chilling, and thought of a story that you guys might want to hear in terms of to do with Volvos. So a good friend of mine's a chief inspector in the police, and he's driven all sorts of police cars, etc. And he said the worst one he ever drove was a Volvo V70. He'd been telling me this ever since I bought my car. So the other day I asked him, well, why is it the worst car you ever drove? And he then proceeded to tell me a story. So it's a Saturday night. It's about 2 degrees. It's misty. The clubs in the town are still going. They're kicking out, and an emergency call comes from a police officer. So for those of you who don't know, police officers have on the radio an emergency button where if they're fighting with someone or need urgent help, they can press it. So he was just coming into the town in it's a nice GTR. It was a 2011 unmarked Volvo V70 D5. So it had all the police kit on it. It had the extra big brakes. I think they're 336mm compared to the standards. Rated clutch. It was a manual. Cloth seats. Just an interesting car. The authorities' cars get a bit more kit on them. So he stuck booze and twos. I went charging through the town to respond to this officer who needed help. It turns out it was the sergeant who was a chap who'd been arrested for public order. He'd assaulted someone as well. Sergeant had hold of him and he started to kick off. So they were fighting in the road, and a good friend of mine, he was only a PC at the time, he came charging down the road in his Volvo, and went to brake, but because he'd got big police boots on, and the narrows actually are, to be fair, the pedals are quite narrow in these. I've driven this car with boots on, I've done this a couple of times. As he put his foot on the brake, he also pressed the accelerator, because he was used to driving 5 Series BMWs and stuff, so the pedals were in a slightly different place. Which meant that as he's coming up to the sergeant and the, I suppose you call him an offender, the chap who he's fighting with on the road, who's been arrested, he's hit the brakes and the car hasn't stopped as quick as he thought it would. So he's coming straight towards this bloke, like these two chaps lying in the road, one's a police officer, and stops, and the chap's head is just underneath the front bumper. He said afterwards that he could feel the heat from the engine. Fortunately, he stopped in time and didn't manage not to hit any of them, and after that the chap was quite happy just to call it a day and go quietly. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny tale, and that's the reason he doesn't like Volvos. So I've explained to him since that perhaps it might be his driving rather than the car, although he won't take that. But yeah, he's used to like, he's been out in mine a few times and he likes that. So yeah, interesting story. But yeah, as you can see, we're not going anywhere that quickly. We're on, well, yeah, we're southbound at 55. I've been in the in this queue for about 20 minutes, and it's just being a nightmare really. So I might have to rejig my plans for the day in terms of who I go and see first, because of the wedding. Obviously, I sort of need to get there on time. But yeah, it's not going too badly. I'm still very comfortable, very chilled. Got all sorts of music playing, and yeah, couldn't ask for more really. I'm not, what will be will be. I'll get there when I get there. There's no point getting stressed about this sort of thing because you can't control it anyway. So yeah, I'll join you guys in a bit. Okay then guys, so we're on our way to the wedding. I had to rejig things, so we'll go see with the family later on. But you might recognise the car in front. That's the 330e that we've got. My dad's driving that today, and yeah, we're convoying it over to the wedding. So yeah, the journey down was very sticky. It was a bit annoying really, but hopefully I'm going to leave later tonight and hopefully it will clear up. No, my luck, they'll have probably shut half the motorways I want to go on, but we're just coming onto the A12 now, heading over to Romford. So yeah, should be a nice easy run over hopefully. Just put our foot down a little bit just to get moving. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and move over again. There we go. So yeah, I'll join you guys after the wedding on my way back, because I thought I'd talk more about the actual car then. I think just wanted to get down here because I was a bit pushed for time to start off with. Okay then, so done wedding, done everything. We're on our way back now, back on the M25. It's 20 past 8. It's fairly empty tonight, which is quite nice. We've got saying 3.5 hours, so I'm not sure. That seems very quick to get back, but I suppose it's the virtue of having no traffic, isn't it? So same way back, M25, M40, M42, M5, and then pretty much the A44 to Wales. So it's a fairly simple route. You actually drive on about 5 roads, so yeah, not too bad because we're covering the length of the country. But yeah, hopefully I'm gonna have a nice chilled drive back now. This is what the S80 does best. It is an absolute marmite to this car. As you can hear, it's nice and quiet in here. I've had the music playing. Just so comfortable. Like, I got out after the first stint, which it turned up for 5 hours in the end because of the traffic and everything, and it was just, yeah, absolutely fine, as if I hadn't really been driving. I don't feel tired. I'm sure it'll hit me later on, especially when you get the unlit bits of roads. Sort of there's a patch of the M40 which are unlit, which can be quite tiresome to drive at night. But yeah, all being well, I should arrive 20 to midnight back home, which is nice. So yeah, I'll bring you guys along for the way. Now I'm just going to make an observation that I've noticed, well, quite frequently. I come down this sort of end of the country quite a bit. It seems to be that once you drop below Oxford on the motorway, all sort of parts of the highway code completely go out of the window. M25 is the worst for it. You just get people, they seem to go in whatever lane they want. It's like the American highways where you just sit in your lane and go the speed and anyone else has to go around you. Like, I've just overtaken this cash guy here and they've sped up, and then we've been undertaken by about 3 other cars, and it's just absolutely bizarre. I don't know if you guys can explain why that could be. I know these smart motorways, when the speed limits or everything, you're meant to stay in your lane, but when it's free like this, there's no normal motorway rules apply, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not sure, but the girlfriend's ringing me now. now, so I better answer that. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Let us know your thoughts. Okay, there's just another update. I'm on the M42 now, about 8 miles away from the M5. Absolutely flown back actually, it's been brilliant so far, but yeah, there's still time for it to go wrong, isn't there? We've got over the M5 and negotiate the A44 and things like that. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about what MPG the car's doing. So I've been cruising around 70, sort of been not rushing back, but not chilling either, if that makes sense, just sort of pushing on a bit, and we've averaged, or an indicated average of 48 mpg for the about 400 miles that we've done now, so it's not too bad at all really. Now I have done it where we've averaged 50 odd, that was cruising at about 65, just chilling out really, which is how I prefer to do this sort of journey. However, I was a bit pushed for time on the way down, and it's getting a bit late tonight. It's 16 minutes past 10 at night, and I'm still an hour and a half away from home, so yeah, it's just one of those. I've got Otto the puppy as well at home, so I don't really want to get back too late and wake him up, because he'll then keep me up all night and I'll be even more tired. But overall, comfort-wise, I'm doing absolutely fine. I did consider stopping on the way back, but to be honest, I feel absolutely fine. With some of the work that I do, I have to go down to Dover, and I think going down to Dover once a month, driving, well, it's about 10 hours, that one, stood me in good stead for this journey. This feels quite easy compared to it, especially with the run that we've had back. So yeah, it's been absolutely fine. The car's been absolutely flawless. I mean, you just sit in it, you point it in a direction, as long as it's got enough diesel, it'll go. You've no worries at all about crossing continents in this sort of car. You've got loads of room in the back, super comfy. You can have 4 of you in here, and 2 couples or something like that, and just do a cross-country road trip or a continental road trip, and it's just an absolute star. And it's nice, it's got a nice bit of poke as well, when you need to sort of get around someone on a motorway in a gap and things like that. It's just, yeah, perfect for this sort of thing. So I'm very, very lucky to have it. So yeah, I'll probably give you one more sort of sign off bit or anything like that, just to say thanks for watching and stuff, because once I'll do it when we're on the lit bit of the M5, because I think by the time we're on the A44 you guys probably would have lost interest. So yeah, I'll join you guys in a bit, but so far the car's been absolutely fantastic, and there's not really any other car that you could do this sort of easy journey. I'm not supposed there is, but to get out, I'll get out the other end. I won't be stiff, I'm a bit tired, but that's because I've been up since 6 AM and it's now 20 past 10, you know what I mean? So yeah, okay, so as promised, we're on the M5. We've had a bit of a downpour here, so it's not the nicest. We've got some water on the road as well, so I'm just going to back off a bit, fill the car, catch the water a bit. So yeah, we're off at the next junction, and then we'll be on the home straight, as it were, although it's possibly one of the bendiest roads about. But yeah, just sort of a recap really. We've had a really good run back down. Like I said, the car's been fantastic. Oh, the rain stopped, it's bizarre, isn't it? And yeah, couldn't really ask for more. So if you managed to make it to this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let us know what you think What sort of journeys that you have to do regularly, whether it be family or work or anything, long journeys like this, how you find it tend to be, and what sort of the best time to travel is. Now, you're always going to have a good journey at night. I was interested, there was a Ford F350 camper van with the 7.3 litre V10 in it, which is quite cool, the Godzilla engine. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, stick that down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Cheers.